Welcome to this video. Today, we're going to talk about how you can stop procrastinating so you can reach your goal of becoming a fluent English speaker as quickly as possible. Of course, I'm Jennifer from jforestenglish.com, and this channel is dedicated to helping you feel confident speaking English in public so you can take your career and your life to the next level. Now, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. Now, let's dive in with this video. Let's talk about how you can stop procrastinating. Now, first of all, you need to know, what does it mean to procrastinate? Well, according to the dictionary, to procrastinate is when you keep delaying something that must be done, often because it's unpleasant or boring. Now, procrastination is a normal human behavior. We all do it. We all do it more than we should. And the thing you need to know about procrastination is that it's a habit. It's a habit. So if you do it once, it's going to be more likely that you do it the next time. If you do it twice, it's going to be way more likely that you do it a third time. If you do it 3 times, it's going to be extremely likely that you do it a 4th time. And it goes on and on and on to the point where procrastination becomes an automatic response simply because you've done the action so many times that it becomes a habit. So what do I mean by this? Well, every time you think about doing something, let's pick something related to English. So every time you think about sitting down and recording a video of yourself public speaking so you can get practical experience speaking English in public. So you think about it, you have the idea, I should really record that video. I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it after I do something, right? And that's the response that you have. And then the more you have that response and you actually follow the advice in your head and you do procrastinate, the more difficult it will be to change that habit. So the first thing you need to do is become aware of how many times you procrastinate. Because in order to change a habit, you need to first be aware of it. So let me give you an example of myself. So just this morning, I took the last Kleenex out of the box and I noticed, oh, the Kleenex box is empty. And guess what? The first thought in my head was, I'll get a new Kleenex box later. Because if there's no more Kleenex, the next time I need a Kleenex, I'll have to get a new box, right? But my very first response to this was, I'll do it later. My first response was procrastination. And remember, going back to our dictionary definition is when we delay something that must be done. So I must change the Kleenex box because there is no more Kleenex. And in the future, I will need another Kleenex. So I must do it. But you delay it usually because it's unpleasant or boring. Well, in this case, it's not unpleasant at all. The only thing I had to do was walk down a flight of about 10 stairs, open the closet, get a new box, and bring it back up the 10 stairs. The entire process would have taken me about 25 seconds. 25 seconds. But like the dictionary definition says, we generally procrastinate on things that are unpleasant or boring. So my mind said, this is boring. Changing the Kleenex, that's boring. You have better things to do with your time. But remember, I have to do it eventually. So why not just take the 25 seconds now? And that's the next thing you need to know about procrastination is that it costs you so much time. And why is that? Because when you say, I should record a video of myself speaking in English, and then the first thought is, do it later. Well, guess what? you're going to feel guilty about not doing it, and that's going to take mental energy. Oh, I should have recorded that video. Why do I always do this to myself? And you're going to have all these thoughts about it, which is going to take energy, time to think about those thoughts, to have that feeling of guilt or the feeling of regret because you didn't do it. And remember, you're eventually going to need to improve your speaking skills, right? So you're eventually going to have to record that video. So the more you put it off, just the longer you're delaying the thing you absolutely have to do in the future. So you're not at all saving time by procrastinating. You're costing yourself a lot of time by the thoughts you have about it, by the feeling you have about it, and the fact that you'll eventually have to do it. So first, identify when you procrastinate. Identify the types of activities you procrastinate on. Ask yourself why. Is it because it's boring, or is it because it's unpleasant? So probably recording the video of yourself speaking in English is an unpleasant activity, and you procrastinate to avoid feeling any kind of discomfort, right? So identify why you're procrastinating. Then remember how much time procrastination is costing you. So think about the amount of time it's costing you. Now, how do you beat procrastination? It's really simple. You just have to do the action the second you get the impulse. So that is the opposite of procrastination. So here's what happened going back to my Kleenex story. I pulled a Kleenex out. Oh no, it was the last one. The box is empty. I should get a new Kleenex box. Do it later. Do it later. No, I'm going to do it now. And that is how you beat procrastination. You basically get in an argument with yourself, okay? Because you have a thought that tells you to procrastinate and you don't follow that thought. That thought is just a habit based on past behavior. You say no to that thought and you consciously choose to do the action anyway. No, I'm going to do it now. If you have difficulty with doing that at first, all it requires is self-discipline, self-control, and willpower. All three of those things are skills that can be developed. All three of those things will be easier the more and more you do them. But if right now you find it very hard to consciously do things when the voice in your head tells you not to, one thing that I would recommend is to include the reason why. This will give you more motivation to actually do the action. No, I should get the Kleenex box now because it only takes 20 seconds. That's the reason why I'm going to do it now. And remember, it would take me more than 20 seconds if throughout the day, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get that Kleenex box. I write it on my to-do list. Just writing it on my to-do list takes the same amount of time to actually do the activity, right? So I write it on my to-do list and then I make sure you get that Kleenex box. Oh yeah, I have to get the Kleenex box. And then that will continue, 5-10 times before I actually get the Kleenex box. So all that combined would probably be 2 to 5 to 10 minutes of wasted time thinking about getting a new Kleenex box when I could have just taken the 30 seconds to get the Kleenex box, right? So that's how you can reinforce the willpower, the determination to do the activity, is have your reason why. So for you, I should record a video of myself speaking English in public. You're tired. You had a long day. Do it later. No, I'm going to do it now because I want to get a better paying job and I need excellent English communication skills in order to get that job. Find a really powerful, motivating reason why and add that when you say no to the thought of procrastination, and that will help motivate you. So that's how you can beat procrastination. Remember, procrastination is a habit. You need to replace it with a habit of action. At the beginning, it's going to take a lot of thought, a lot of mental effort, but after you practice taking action more and more, it will become easier and easier. So right now, I want you to really just acknowledge, think about something you procrastinate. Maybe it's washing the dishes. You see the dishes and you always say, no, do it later. Think about one thing that you can easily change. So for now, maybe don't start with the recording a video of yourself speaking in English because that's more of an advanced activity. Start with something really simple, like you take the last Kleenex and you instantly get more Kleenex. Or you, instead of putting your dirty cup in the sink, you instantly wash the cup on the spot. I want you to think of one activity you can stop procrastinating on, and I want you to practice not procrastinating this entire week. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for homework is think of the one activity you're not going to procrastinate on. So once you identify that activity, share it in the comments with all of us and then put in the comments, stop procrastinating now. Stop procrastinating now. And isn't that so important that you put the word now? Because you might get the impulse to say, I'll do it later. That right there is procrastination. That's what you need to stop. So you're not going to start this tomorrow, the next day, next week. You're going to do it right now because that's the opposite of procrastination, is taking action. So stop procrastinating now. Stop procrastinating now. Make sure you get that now. Put it in the comments and say no to procrastination. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe. And before you go, make sure you head on over to my website, jforrestenglish.com, and download your free speaking guide. In this guide, I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. And until next time, happy studying! Stop procrastinating now. Stop procrastinating now. Stop procrastinating now. Put it in the comments and let's stop procrastinating right now. See you in my next video. Bye.